these days, starved for a taste of human blood. Sadly, all the humans had died, and now she had nothing, no human blood to drink. And besides which, she'd never been able to drink well anyway because it took a long time to peck through to get to the blood. They used to have these harnesses that they'd tie them down with and perform certain rituals where they would then slowly peck their way through the carotid artery and release the sweet, sweet blood. But now she had nothing, not even the dregs of her singing career.
Oh, you're throwing it down
Oh,
there?
does it go this way?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't necessarily want it. Madonna wondered if she could find enough sustenance from creatures she might find in the cave. There were sections of the cave where the sea and the ocean came in and out. And she had a song in her mind, like a sturgeon. For the very first time. Anyway, she decided that she would try it. So she waddled down to the sea cave, only to discover something. Only to discover. No, I can go farther than that. Only to discover.
Twist. Say yes, or no.
Yes, only to discover.
Sorry.
Golden arches. Golden arches. She vaguely had some kind of memory of golden arches. They meant something, didn't they? She was sure that they did. She waddled through those golden arches, still a little damp with the seawater that had come in and out. And there were strange things on the ground. There were wrappers, and there were cups, and there were straws, but they seemed to form almost a message in their pattern. And she was sure that if she stared at it long enough, she would grasp the meaning. But since the meaning wasn't coming to her immediately, she decided to get a better vantage point on the whole thing, and she waddled a little farther, and there was a counter with, oh, she remembered this, with a typewriter-looking thing, register. Yes, I write for a living. To get a better vantage point, and there, in the detritus, was a message, a secret message that said, "Come to the dark side. We have cookies."
Madonna had always enjoyed complex carbo yum-yum. But after passing into shadow, her time in the cave had grown long, and her memory of the sweet, sugary confections had faded. She thought of her past love, that boy from her youth. Ronald, his name had been. Red of hair and white of skin. With blood that tasted of the strawberry shape we call milk. Ronald had loved her from afar, but alas, he had been sent overseas and had been among the fighters to drop the bombs that had ended civilization. McDonald's, as she had known it, was no more. Ronald had been lost to her, but his love lived on in her. She waddled behind the counter. Counter was what they had called it, looking for one of the treats that they had shared together in her reckless youth as a vampire penguin Pop-Tart. She's a tart for pop music. She discovered, to her surprise, joy, and rising hunger, a freezer locked and still humming with refrigeration, electricity still. McDonald's had managed to keep the power on inside. Frozen, fried pies filled with some sort of sweet goo. She pierced it with the fangs in her tiny beak, and just as her tooth began to suck the apple-flavored gelatinous muck into her esophagus, from across the room, she heard someone say, "Stop, it is I, Grimace."
Something strange, and she laid an egg right there in the middle of the debris that was once McDonald's. She knew it was Ronald's. It was Ronald's baby in that egg. But Ronald was gone, and Grimace was here, and he was very purple, and she liked purple. She's like, it's a thing, look it up. But Grimace was not there to woo her. What he was there for was to kidnap her and her egg and take them to the Thunderdome, where she would be put into a tiny little gladiator skirt and forced to fight among other vampire penguins, the last of their breed, to the death. And Grimace scooped her up, she carefully picked up the egg, and carried them both out of McDonald's and across the island and across the debris. Into the underground caverns, because they're supposed to be underground, right? To the Thunderdome, where a woman who looked very much like Tina Turner ran the entire show. And they put Madonna in this tiny little gladiator skirt with these giant B-52 cups, which I'm not sure what that has to do with gladiators, but it does have to do with Madonna. And put her in the ring where they released the Kraken. Which had her first fight. And if she won against the Kraken, she would.
If she won against the Kraken, there was a penguin up by Tina Turner. He was wearing leather. He had penguin abs, and his name was Starbuck. And should she win against the Kraken, Starbuck was hers. Starbuck also had a very beautiful penguin neck that had this big vein